Hello there. It's music. Stop. Video on. Hello there, out there viewing this diary right now. Is me, Captain John Ego, once again here recording another space adventure diary log for my computer system, because my original computer system diary log was wiped out by Lord Darkness, which, you know, at this point, I don't even think I need to mention. I'm grateful to tell these stories in the diary log archive because I believe they're important and they belong in there. I mean, you can watch videos of the incidents and read books and articles, but I believe getting the first-hand account of the Captain John Ego is probably the way to go. So this entry that I'm currently reconstructing takes place about 10 years ago to the day, actually, which is why it really is near and dear to my heart. It was an early Captain Ego mission. I had kissed my wife goodbye, you know. Well, one of my many wives. I've got, at this point, God, sometimes I lose track, maybe 8 or 9. Currently, my wife is a beautiful, at this time, excuse me, my wife was a beautiful meta warrior with her sword, with her beautiful sword. So gave her a kiss goodbye, and I said, it's time to skedaddle. I've got another mission out there. It wasn't necessarily a mission. It was just more of a scouting thing, because sometimes that's what the galactic, that's what the Alliance would do, is we would go on these little scouting missions to different types of planets throughout the galaxy, and just, you know, maybe do a little scan here and there. Sometimes it'd be boring, you know, maybe it wasn't like my last story of vegetables and all these other things, you know. I've seen a lot of battlefield missions, but this one would be quite different. So hold on a second. There we go. There we go. Bringing up the archives for my memory. And there we go. The book has just appeared right near here at me. So tale begins 10 years ago. I give my wife a kiss, one of my many wives at the time, a kiss. It's time to go off on a simple planet scouting mission in the ship, as you see behind here on the virtual screen. So that's all. You know, I think it's going to be fine and dandy, pretty simple, pretty easy. You know, one of those, another mission I can kind of just chillax and, you know, boy, was I wrong, so to speak. But things would turn out quite differently. So I went to a strange sector I'd never really been to before, planets of stone. Now, normally planets are, you know, pretty much, I mean, rock and stone, to be honest, you know. But this was sort of a pure gray stone, sort of like the hull of my ship sort of color, sort of that type of hull. So, but it was a whole planet. Even the sun, which glowed bright, glowed a bright gray, was also had that texture. And it was an odd sort of little sector of these little planets and moons where it was all kind of the same material. So that was a little odd. I started scratching my head like, why would it be the same sector? But then again, this is a big, massive universe of big, massive stuff, of things that even some to this day I can't comprehend. As I mentioned in the other diaries of talking vegetable, who would have thought that would have existed until the formation of space travel, until the formation of the alliance? Who would have thought one of my wives, mind you, was a meta warrior with powers basically to lift up stuff, throw flames and fire and ice and all this other and lightning out of her hands. So anything was possible. But I knew it was a little odd from the start. I was sent to scan a planet, which was, there we go, X. The planet X in this sector. So there were multiple sectors in this planet. Hold on, let me just make sure. Cool. Multiple planets in this sector, but I was specifically sent to scan X, which was probably the biggest planet in this sector. Now, X was, continued to be big stone, was about the size of 2 or 3 Earths sort of combined, which, if you think about it, is really not that big. But I was sent to scan it, for research purposes. Apparently, because the planets had not been scanned, but that was the most valuable planet to be scanned. I guess for potential alliance colony or potential alliance base could be on it. I don't know how. You asked me, being that it was seemed to be totally rock. That's all it does. So I scanned the planet. There's really no life forms on it aside from the microscopic and bacteria and things of that nature. Then I do a deep scan. As I do, all of a sudden, my ship, mind you, I was on my ship by myself. I was still captain of the ship you see behind me, but it was once again self-sustaining ship that I'd been given. It had been an earlier model of the ship, but it was still pretty much the same ship that you see there. All of a sudden, my ship freezes. Ship is engulfed in some sort of tractor beam like ray from the planet's surface. That's what it seemed like to me. My ship is frozen. I'm pushing buttons and communicating. Computer, what's going on, computer? Let me know what the hell is going on. Computer's not responding. Ship is frozen. This had happened quite a few times before. There's certain alien type weapons that can freeze a ship. And then, of course, the Alliance, we have tractor beams. But a tractor beam coming from a sort of a lifeless planet was a huge mystery to me. I'm trying everything. And all of a sudden, a message plays on the comm system. It's brittle and staticky. And then all of a sudden, on my screen, this Stone Titan is his name. If you can see it. Damn you, virtual background. There we go. The Stone Titan, who, mind you, I know was about regular size. I have to do something about this virtual. There we go. Stone Titan. Then I see it. The Stone Titan is communicating to me. Do not come to our planet. Do not come to our planet. We will destroy you. And I say, what do you mean? You're going to destroy me? First off, I'm Captain John Ego of the Alliance. You destroy me, and that is a crime against the Alliance. You are starting a war. All right? I do not recommend that. I believe that we can possibly talk. You see, sometimes I do have to resort to violence, but there are times when I feel like I have to talk. In this situation, with the ship frozen, that was really the only choice I had. I had tried everything up until that point. The Stone Titan says, all right, under one condition, you come down weaponless and you come talk to us. And I said, fine, I'll do it just this once. The ship comes out. I've done it multiple times. Sometimes you've got to lie in order to get by in this universe. So they bring me down. The ship is engulfed in the tractor beam. The tractor beam is pulling me down, pulls down the ship onto this beautiful surface of stone and gray. Like normally gray, I didn't think was that beautiful, but this had changed my mind. Seeing all the gray was just beautiful, and gray quickly became my favorite color after this mission. But I get pulled down to the planet, and then I can see the sizes of the Titans, as I just mentioned before. Almost 300 feet tall. Hell, a few in the distance bigger than my ship. A few in the distance very old, like moss around them. extremely tall, basically mountains, about the size of Earth's Mount Everest in the distance. And the leader Titan, who had spoken to me, he is there as well. He's down there. He's big. I come out of my ship, and there they are. Even the small ones stand at 20 to 30 feet tall. I'm surrounded by them. My ship is surrounded by them. Hell, this is their planet. All these stone titans, they managed to blend in when I had scanned them. So I say, all right. First off, what do you want? You want me to leave? You brought me down here. So you're gonna destroy me? Is that why you brought me down here? They say, the huge stone titan says, we want to let you go back. We don't want you to tell the Alliance of our planet. I'm like, well, I'm on a mission here. All right. What am I supposed to do? All right. I'm about the Alliance, okay? And I have to do my mission. If this is a viable Alliance homeworld, then I have to make sure that it's a viable Alliance homeworld. So if you're gonna kill me, then kill me now. Stone Titans go, nope, we're not like that, all right? Listen, fine. If you want to do that, you want to go back to the Alliance, then we will not be prepared for what happens. If a war does happen, because we do not want other species or other alliances here, because our elders, as the Stone Titan leader, as I believe he was the leader with his crown, and said that the elders there, the giant mountains, that's what we can grow up to be, size of mountains. And for years and years, they had war with the Red Stone Titans. And the Gray Stone Titans and the Red Stone Titans went to war. And he told me the story, and the war was silly. It was because they were different. Because one happened to be a red colored type of rock, and the other happened to be gray. It was a stupid war, but in that stupid war, the Stone Titan told me that they ended up wiping them all out. And they realized afterwards they had made an ungodly mistake. And to let this planet come into contact with anybody else could possibly lead to a war like that. And that's why they said they wanted me to leave. I doubt about that. For quite some time. I sat there. What the hell was I to do? Well, as I doubt about it, I realized, well, what do I do? Do I lie to the Alliance? And I say, you know what? I've done it before. I've had to lie for the Alliance for certain things. Even as I put that in Space Diary in the log. And if the Federation's the Alliance is gonna see it, that's understandable. But there have been certain situations where you've got to cover your own ass. And even though this is years later, I had to admit what would happen next. So we continued to have a conversation. Me and Stone Titan Kid. Ooh, excuse me, all that water. Continued to have a conversation of what could be the plan. Then, as we continue to have a conversation, hear noise in the distance coming from the forest. Strange type of noise I hadn't heard before on this planet. I asked Stone Titan King, the hell's in that forest? Stone Titan King tells me as he kneels down, goes to me and says, well, you want to find out? Perhaps maybe you can actually help us. I realized, well, you know what? Maybe I do help this species. Maybe I lie to the Alliance. But maybe I also indulge him a little bit and have a little fun. So I already know that, you know what? Fine. I'm going to lie to the Alliance because this is seems like a peaceful species. You know, they could have easily destroyed me already with all these Stone Titans around me, and they haven't. And I've come weaponless, and they haven't done anything. But they say, the Stone Titan King says, do you want a challenge? And I said, Yeah, I don't want to go home empty-handed after all, you know. Maybe perhaps I can come back to the alliance with something. So he goes, well, you can. Let's see. There we go. Okay. He says, oh, there we go. He says that you can. Inside that forest is a creature of unimaginable chaos and power, so to speak. But if the creature can be killed, then perhaps, well, then you'll have a good story. So he pulled it out, and I'm just trying to find which creature it is. I believe it's this one. There we go. Kapitan. Apparently this creature, big, huge creature, almost the size of one of the 300-foot stone titans, was responsible for many stone titan deaths, and many stone titans couldn't defeat it. So I said, fine. You want me? You've got to give me one of my weapons. So they gave me a weapon. This, a mystical type of machete. The only mystical type of machete that could take out this creature. But unfortunately, the stone titans hadn't been able to do it. I would have to fight this creature and crawl and climb up the side of the creature and cut off one of its blue orbs. And once I cut off the blue orbs, I could stab inside, and then bam. So I said, fine, I'll do it. Because I don't want to go home empty-handed after all. Stone Titan says, you do this, you go alone, and then if you're able to defeat the creature, which they highly doubted, you will be an honorary Stone Titan. And I said, hell, I love to be an honorary Stone Titan. And lie to the Alliance? Puh. So I go into this deep, dark forest of stone trees and stone bushes. Very odd sight. You had to be there to see it. I'm there. I have my little calm wristwatch at the time. I don't have it now. But I'm scanning as well. Scanning. Then all of a sudden, something pops up. Nope. Just a little creature with wings flies away. Beautiful little bird-like thing. Stone bird, I called it, because it looked like a little stone gray bird. Flies away. I started thinking to myself, man, what the hell did I get myself into? That's what I realized. Sometimes I go a little in over my head as a goddamn captain, you know? Whether it's destroying giant planet-destroying ships, making trench runs by myself, taking on entire superheroes by myself and supervillains by myself, you know? Fighting a Meta Warrior Dark Lord with hands tied behind my back, that's a good story. I can't wait to tell you that one. Not now, obviously. So I'm looking around, like, man, where the hell are you, Kapitan? Come at me. Come at me, you son of a bitch. Then all of a sudden, something is rising behind me and blowing hot air down my back. And I realize I've called this creature a son of a bitch. And I realize that this creature was 300 feet tall. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? So I turn around and I get bam, blown away by its breath. I see the creature come, breathing hot and stinky breath on me. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Reminds me of my one of the villains I faced, Big Nasty, back in the day. Boy, did his breath stink. Whew. He was fun too, especially when I cut off his arms and his legs. Whew. He's crying like a little baby. Different story, different time. Anyway, blows me away. I roll down. I use my machete because I almost fall down a type of slope. Creature's running right towards me. I'm like, man, this would have been a great time to have a blaster. Runs towards me. I dodge, but I'm still holding on. The creature rolls down the slope. I realize that this big creature's rolling down the slope. And I realize I got to roll down with him. So that's what I do. I go down. I slide down the slope, and then I'm sliding down the slope. And then I realize, wait a second, There's a cliff at the end of that slope. The creature's holding down, almost falls down off the cliff and starts holding on to the cliff. So I'm going down the slope, and then I fall, just missing the creature's mount and landing on this part of the body. I land on the eye right here. So I'm rolled down, and I'm like, ah. Mind you, his arm is on the slope type of cliff. So I'm rolling down, like, oh, Jesus Christ, hitting these type of reptilian fins. Land down to this sucker. It's like a spider type thing, and I bounce back up to here. Now, mind you, I'm trying to like climb up now, the creature, and then all some little miniature creatures start flying out of the little holes on its back. It has little holes on its back, and little miniature creatures are like flying out of it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I picked the wrong day to do a like ancient challenge of creatures. So I'm slashing at it. Creatures. It's like an old pirate tale, something out of the old pirate tales from Planet Earth or Cityscape, which is a great pun I used to live on for quite some time. I'm using my sword techniques. One of them attempts to spray acid on me, but I block it and it bounces back. I'm like, whoa, trusty little mystical weapon you have here, Stone Titans. So I'm climbing and I'm continuing to climb, and I'm like, creature starts moving around. Finally, creature starts shaking, attempts to hit into the slope, into the cliff area. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So I crawl in between one, and it hits, but I'm fine because I'm basically near, like in this creature's like spine type of thing, like a little hole. It keeps trying to bash its back. It's trying to like scratch its back, but I'm in this spine little hole thing, and it's like doing this. And so I'm pulling my sword and hit inside and try to keep, yeah. Finally, the creature roars in pain and stops trying to scratch its back and starts trying to climb up. Then I'm climbing up again. More of those little creatures are coming. I'm like, come at me, you son of a bitch. I hate little creatures. I'm like this. Pirate music is playing from those old movies in my head. I'm like, yes, that's what I am. I'm Captain John Eagle, swashbuckler of the Space Alliance, the greatest man who ever lived, multiple wives. And then the creature spits acid again, and boom, dodge that. Yeah, I'm like, you can't take me. So I continue to climb. Now, the creature's hand goes behind its back, just trying to, I'm fighting off the creature's hand. But then also the creature's hand grabs my sword and starts lifting me. So I'm getting dragged around like a little rag doll. I'm like, God damn it. I should have brought another weapon. And he's lifting me up like this. I'm like, you son of a bitch, let go of me. I'm an alliance captain. I'm trying to kick. But then the creature's hand slips on this because there's still a little acid residue, and it hurts the creature's hand. I start falling into the abyss, but then I grab onto this part of the creature right here, if you can see it. I gotta put it in front of me. Remember, I grab onto the creature's leg over here. I continue to climb up again. More of those little creatures keep coming out. I'm like, man, this thing does not quit. So I'm trying to fight, and I'm climbing, and I continue to climb, and finally I'm near the creature's belly, and more of these creatures are coming out of its belly button. I'm like, oh my God, this is something out of like a horror film, So I cut, I keep climbing. Man, this was an exhausting climb. Finally, I continue to climb. I get to the mouth area of the creature because now I've switched to the front side of the body when I fell earlier. And I have to climb in the mouth. I look at this mouth, thousands of teeth, jagged and messed up. And I can see the bodies of stones in there, of stone titans. I was, man, this creature's been eating stone titans. And it could chew stone titans. I was like, this is ridiculous. So it attempts to blow me away with its breath, and I get sucked in, and now I'm in the creature's mouth on its tonsil. I'm holding on for dear life. I'm like, I'm gonna fall. I look down. I see the acid. I'm like, that would not be great. I do not want to fall into this creature's belly. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time to make the big creature sing. So I'm holding on to its tonsil, cut it off. Creature screams in pain. Blood starts rushing out, and it blows, and I get blown out, dodging toot after toot, and finally, the machete hits in between two of the big teeth. The creature's trying to blow me out. It's a windstorm. I'm getting blown out. All of a sudden, I see one of the dead stone titans. It gets pushed out. I'm like, uh-oh. So what I do is I flip over. I flip over onto the top of its mouth. And then, damn, there I am. Straight eye looking with its damn eyes. Its boogly eyes looking at me. And I'm like, all right, come on. I'm Captain John Ego. And I will not lose. So I run. And the creatures are coming at me. I did a kick. I throw it this hard. I hit one of the eyes. The creature screams, and I run. I jump because there's a little bouncy thing in front of its eyes. I jump on a little bouncy thing up to the machete. I pull it out. I see the blue thing on top. Cut it, and then see you later, alligator. Into the blue, and then this essence of energy comes out, and then I'm blown away. I'm flying. Everything freezes for a second. I'm like, uh-oh. I've been frozen, and I'm frozen in my mind, and this creature has exploded, and I'm like, this is it. I'm going to fall and land back down, and that is going to be the end. That's going to be the end of Captain John Ego. But then all of a sudden, time starts again, and I start falling onto the planet's surface. I'm like, computer system is not working. I'm like, damn it, my ship is frozen. And then all of a sudden, I'm grabbed in midair, held from the back, like, whoa, oh man. Like, what the hell? I turn, and there is a mountain of a stone titan the size of Mount Everest with vines and all these, then a massive headpiece. I'm like, hey, thank you. I really appreciate that. No, thank you. Then puts me down. By this point, I'm exhausted. I'm like, whew, man. Can I get a drink on the rocks? I end up meeting with the Stone Titan King, and I had I grabbed a little item. I see a little item that has fallen next to me, and I see that's from the creature, a little blue orb type of thing, and I'm like, must be the same type of energy that was released when I stabbed the creature after I took the blue thing off. So I take that with me, and I walk for miles and miles. And I'm like, man, these stone titans know how to test. And finally, I reach back to the area where I was before, and the Stone Titan King is there, and the other stone titans are there, and the mountains are in the distance. And I tell them, okay, I've got this blue orb. Now, what are you going to give me in exchange, for going back to the Alliance, for telling them that, for leaving you alone, and for saying that, this planet deserves peace? What will I have? The Stone Titan King tells me that. And I'm like, what? He says, that is a symbol of our people's peace and prosperity, and to live in the moment. You bring that back and you tell them that is our gift, and that we like to stay like that. We like to stay without the Alliance in this planet. We do not want any wars. We've seen enough wars on our planet. So bring them that. Tell them you fought the biggest and baddest beast, and you did. You defeated them by yourself. Because of that, you can represent us, Captain Ego. Because as of today, because of what you've done, which has not been done in a long time, you are a Stone Titan. And I took that in. I'm a Stone Titan? I said, yeah, you know what? You're damn right I'm a Stone Titan. I'm Captain John Ego, the Stone Titan. So that's what I did. I took the blue thing, the blue orb back to the Alliance, and I told them that, originally, yeah, I was gonna lie, but then I told them the truth. Told them we need to stay out of that system. They've seen enough war and chaos. They want nothing to do with us. We cannot go to that system no matter what. And the Alliance, well, they agreed. They saw it my way. Because of this was one of the missions where I really was able to get what the people of that planet wanted. I realized that I could get what certain species wanted. If a certain species on a certain planet wanted to be isolated, I could do that. All I had to do was put my strength and put my best foot forward. After that, I realized it was time. It was time to continue doing space missions. It was time to make sure that if a species wanted that, I would respect that. But it would come at a trade-off, That species would have to earn my respect. You know what I mean? Or I would have to learn more about the society, and I did. I wanted to learn more about the Stone Titan society, and I did. I learned about the creature. I learned about the war. I learned about the things that had destroyed them in the past. I realized they don't want to make that mistake. So I was not going to make that mistake with them. And well, that concludes my tale for today. A little shorter one from the Captain John Ego Space Adventure Diary. But it was one that really resonates with me. One of the early Captain Ego missions that kind of shaped my career and realized, you can kind of take a different approach to missions. And I was happy to take approaches to missions. So that is really about it for this diary log entry. I'm going to, what am I going to do right now? Not exactly sure. I never know. The universe is always in flux, and what I do next, well, I don't know. But I do know that the Lord Darkness, this conflict we've been having is starting to brew with Lord Darkness. And my wife, well, she's getting ready for the war, for more of the war battles. So that's going to be fun, Always loved myself a little war, and I'm ready to bring it to that son of a bitch, Lord Darkness. Anyway, I'm Captain John Ego, and this has been another Space Adventure Diary. Tune in for a future, feel free to subscribe to wherever this is broadcasting. I believe Donovan TPS. So feel free to give that a subscribe. And thank you. I'm Captain John Ego, and have a great night.